DC?
Jello 2. So there's that. You did a time skip.
Yeah.
So in between that, I was actually doing. So now that I've done my first house party, I'm thinking in my head, oh, house parties are fun. Because I'm still young.
It's not work yet.
Yeah, I'm still young. Yeah. And I'm like, I had fun. We had fun. We're let's do this. Let's do more.
Yeah.
So I've been doing, between Jello 1 and Jello 2, I've done more house parties, but I've also done more like work with clubs in between.
Yeah.
To gain experience. So I worked with 2 promotional companies at the time, just to compare what was going on in the clubs to what was going on in my house parties. And I was also taking on assisting gigs for like fashion shows, opening pop-ups, listening parties, things like that, just so I can just be in the room. I was an intern for Raheem Devon during the early 368 days.
Yeah.
Did work with Studio 43, interning as well, just so I could just gauge the climate of different things. So, like I said, once I got like that taste, I'm just running around rampant. So I'm all over the city.
Is that where you learned marketing?
Yes. So I'm just everywhere, just absorbing, being a sponge, learning as much as I can. And so we go from Jello 1. I've absorbed all the information I needed to do and learn and gain. And now we're at Jello 2.
What was the difference between Jello 1 and Jello 2?
The difference between Jello 1 and Jello 2 was Jello 1, I've never purposely threw a house party before. I've thrown events. I've worked in clubs. I've, like I said, I've done all styles, but this is my first house party. There's more involved. You got to consider the person's home. You got to consider like legality, stuff. And this, like I said, these are the things that I'm thinking about. No child is thinking about, what do we do when the cops come? They're thinking about we just scattered. But I'm thinking about, okay, is everybody here 21 and up? Like, I'm thinking about that like as somebody that's 20 who also can't drink. But it was just that. So the difference between that is a year passed. I'm 21 now.
Yeah. At a whole new world.
And I have a whole year's worth of me accumulating all this knowledge and experience, but I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
So Jello 2 was me unleashing everything I've gained. Because young arrogance, I'm thinking I know everything. I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
And just because you know everything don't mean you're supposed to do everything.
Yeah.
But I did everything. And everything happened. Jello 2. You said Project X. Project X wasn't even out. The movie didn't come out yet.
The movie didn't come out till like 7 years later.
This is a house. It was a home. A home in DC. I would say the capacity of the house was probably... How big was that house? It was probably... You could probably comfortably, if you wanted to fill it up, it could probably fill up about 90 people.
Was this the Northwest house or the Northeast? The Northeast house.
This was Jello House.
Okay.
So 90 people. We had one of our people do counts as we were doing. He stopped counting at 1,000. This is a house party.
That can only hold 90 people.
People were in the back, people were in the front, people were upstairs, people were downstairs. No, the downstairs could only hold about 90 people. People were upstairs, basement, everywhere. There was Not gonna talk about what it was. This is a lot going on.
Life probably looks so different for you being in the moment.
But once again, no, that thing was crazy. It was crazy, and there was actually a big event going on in the city at the time.
What event?
Trey Songz was in town.
That's when he was hot.
This is 2011. So I was actually asked not to do the event, to not compete with that. And I was just, like I said, I was just young. I was hot. I was like, what? No, we're doing it. Who's gonna stop us? Trey Songz? What? I was just feeling myself way too much. But it was still successful, really successful, and you know, it was. This is now I can say Twitter for a fact is it was being tweeted everywhere. Type when they tweeted about it, people were just the cops were just outside with their hands on their hips trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah.
But even on that level, it was wild. It was extremely wild. There was a lot of people, but it was not wild in the sense of, and this is also how I know like I had an affinity for this because it wasn't wild in the sense of chaos. There was a lot going on. Yeah. But it was still organized. Yeah. Still organized. There were lines going in. There were lines to get drinks. We monitored who was drinking, how much they had. We cut people off when needed to be cut off. Yeah.
There was control chaos.
Yeah. When the first floor, when the main floor got too crowded, we actually, directed people downstairs or upstairs just to, keep crowd flow.
Have a good counterbalance.
Yeah, we even upcharged at the door. We increased the price to like unnecessary amounts, like $50, $100. Not because we wanted to make a profit, but